First thing in the morning, just saw some beautiful comments, or one in particular, and I thought, let me make a video on that. So somebody left a great comment, which you'll see now.
It may not be smart to pay Google for ads for people to see your videos when you only have 4 videos. You're just wasting your money. Just trying to help you out. Make more videos before you pay for ads! Exclamation mark.
So first of all, to that person, thank you very much for that comment. I don't personally necessarily agree for my situation, and I'll explain why in a moment. But the general thought and the good intentions that I think that person had when they shared that comment got me thinking about something that a lot of us tend to really, I think, slack on when it comes to the things of God and the kingdom. So I'm going to lay my cards on the table. I really strongly believe in investing in the things of God, investing in the things of the kingdom, because at the end of the day, the Bible speaks a lot about how the people that have money, pretty much the wealthy in this age, you need to be rich in good works. And so don't just think about making loads of money and using all of your money for your own temporary motives, but think forward, think about eternity, think about things that will cause your money to go further than just this life, but also carry over into something that lasts eternally. So what examples could that include? If you've got a particular charity, for example, that you're aware of, who goes into these really dark and dangerous places in the world to rescue people who are victims of sex trafficking, child slavery, all those sorts of things, that's a good work. That's a good way to use your money, because they require money to do what they do. So that's one way that you could use money to go further than just this life and to carry over into eternity. Now, maybe a bit more closer to home though, is down to how much money we spend and put into the things that we're doing in the name of God. And so, granted, if you've seen anything about Reason to Behold, you'll know that, for example, we don't just preach or talk or suggest that ministry is just to do when you're preaching on a stage or when you're posting out tweets and Instagram posts that have scriptures all over it. That's not the limitation of what ministry is. Ministry is everything that we do here on earth on behalf of God. So even in our workplaces, when we are demonstrating the way of the kingdom, that is ministry. When we are transacting in our businesses with integrity and godly principles, that is a form of ministry, because we are extending the kingdom and the way of God into not just the places where you have Christian meetings, but also into the dark places that exist in this world. And so, coming back to the point that I was trying to make about how much I think sometimes we're really cheap when it comes to the things of God. And so I don't believe in, for example, being willing to spend money in business or on my other ventures and stuff like that in this life, but then being very tight pretty much when it comes down to thinking about how to make the message or what I have to bring to this earth to extend God's kingdom further. And so personally, yes, I run ads to take my videos and to take our content overall to an audience that is outside of my natural exposure and my natural reach. And the reason why is because I know that there's 8 billion plus, God knows how many people in this world right now. And in that big pool of people, there's going to be some people who I have no natural access to, who are really going to benefit from the content that we have to give. And lifestyle Christianity is what this is all about. And we know that that's a big problem that we don't necessarily see demonstrated throughout the kingdom of God. We don't necessarily always see people talking about not just what the text says or the chapter and the verse, but actually what does it look like here on the ground. And that's something that we're really big on. And the truth is, the feedback that we get, we hear from people who otherwise would have never met us, but who have been blessed hugely by the things that we've had to say, the things that we've been able to write, the messages we've been able to give them in time, which if we weren't spending money on advertising, marketing, ads and all those kind of things there, they never would have got it. And so to me, I don't see it as money wasted. I think maybe on a natural level you might potentially think, yeah, strategic to build up a long list of videos before you start running ads. That's great, but to be honest, you know, yes, sometimes there's a place for waiting with certain things that you do and not doing it right now but doing it later, but that's not where we're at. One thing that you'll find from the videos that go up on this channel, the blog posts that go up on the website, there's no technical official posting pattern. And so if we were to wait until there's maybe 10, 100 videos before we started running ads, you could be waiting a very long time. Or maybe not, but guess what? In this moment, when we've recorded this video, the last video, and written the last blog post, and we've released it, and we've done what we've done to promote it, to get it in front of the right people, the people that need it in those moments are getting it, rather than us storing it up and holding it back because we're waiting on a particular strategy that makes sense to the natural man, which is potentially robbing a bunch of people who actually need to hear what we have to say. And so I'm gonna wrap this video up now, but the encouragement from this video is to just say, when it comes to the things of God, when it comes to how you are expressing God in this earth, especially, and it's not just, but especially when it comes down to things like you know, YouTube, when it comes down to things like writing blog posts or whatever your thing is, let's not be cheap. You know, if we can afford to spend money on buying a nice pair of shoes, buying a nice car, buying a nice this and that, let's make sure that we're not holding back when it comes to the things that, you know, we perceive or we describe as being the things we're using to teach, to write, to share, and all of those kind of things to help invite people into the kingdom of God, and to show them the kingdom of God as well. Let's not be cheap. I'm super passionate about that. And, you know, let's not be limited to just the circles of the people that we do know, because there's a big world out there. And, you know, whatever it is that you're doing or whatever it is that God has deposited in you, there are going to be people who can relate to it. And, you know, when we're running ads, we recognize that not everybody who sees it is going to actually want to continue watching more of our content or is going to relate to it or anything. And that's absolutely fine. You know, it's not a machine. We don't look at it like a machine that we're using to basically just try and capture everybody. That's not what this is about. It's about getting our content in front of the right people who need it, who are going to benefit from it, and who can relate to the content that we're sharing. So don't be cheap in the kingdom of God. Word for the day.
Now for a quick shout out to some of our community.
Austin Estrada, we're glad we were able to reach you and we're praying for you. Hope you're alright. Joe Hudgens, glad we got to you when we did, mate. Ekua Quincy, no bother at all, glad you were blessed.